WAJR and the AJR News Network welcome you to Wellness Wednesday, North Central West Virginia's premier medical talk show, presented by Fairmont Regional Medical Center, the only hospital in West Virginia to be recognized 5 years in a row as a top performer by the Joint Commission. Now, here's your host for Wellness Wednesday, Kyle Wiggs.
And good morning. It is Wellness Wednesday, sponsored by Fairmont Regional Medical Center. And you can reach Fairmont Regional Medical Center, the general number, 304-367-7100. Of course, full-service website as well. You can go to the website, learn anything you need to know, get some questions answered about the services provided at Fairmont Regional Medical Center. Joining us on Wellness Wednesday this morning is Mary Jo Thomas. She, unfortunately, is a Fairmont Regional Medical Center patient. She's done an awful lot in the Fairmont region and for the hospital. We're going to talk about that. But Mary Jo, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. My pleasure.
This is an interesting story in a sense that you were telling me before we came on the air. You had a clean bill of health last spring, right?
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, something pops up. Right. Something happens in January.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, we're doing some community work. We have Celebration of Lights that South Fairmont Rotary Club does, and I'm part of that. And so we were taking down the display on January 9th. And I thought, you know what, I've maybe pulled a muscle or something here. And so decided I'd just stay home and relax a little bit. And as I'm doing some laundry of all things, discover a lump and think, oh my, we need to get moving on this. The next day, I'm in with the doctor and having a mammogram again after just having one in the spring, and showed there's a difference here. So apparently a very aggressive form of breast cancer. So I'm really glad that we could get to it quickly and have positive results.
You've been incredibly involved with Fairmont Regional Medical Center, with the Regional Healthcare Foundation, and with the community in general. And again, we'll talk about that. But let's focus a little bit on the treatment. And first of all, why did you choose to receive your care at Fairmont Regional Medical Center?
Well, one of the projects that I worked on pretty extensively is raising money for new digital mammography equipment. And so less than a year ago, almost a year ago now, in last April, I had my first mammogram, not my first mammogram, but the first with the new equipment. And I can't stress enough the importance of testing, of knowing your body, of listening to your body and doing things. And I feel so strongly that we need a local community hospital. Mm-hmm. We have great facilities. We have great physicians and staff. And so I thought it was good. And the immediacy that I was able to deal with the issue was fantastic, I think.
Your role as a fundraiser, I know you probably researched this and what it all meant to take that next step equipment-wise to the digital mammography. What is the difference there?
Absolutely.
How much?
Well, you have much earlier detection with it, and I'm certainly not a medical authority, and with equipment, my brothers would tell you, don't let her near any piece of equipment because it will be damaged if she touches it. But our equipment was about 17 years old, and with medical science strides, that's a long history. But the history going back, and one of my interests in the hospital is my mother, 38 years ago, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And they didn't have all the testing then. So an alert surgeon and pathologist gave us 12 more years to have her with us that we wouldn't have had, because at that point, the most invasive of the tumors was completely hidden by scar tissue. So the equipment at that time didn't show it up, but thank God the doctors were astute and caught that. So I have the utmost confidence in the hospital. And as you know, we've been around for 100 years, not you and I personally, but the hospital.
Sometimes I feel like it.
We do, don't we? And at this location for 75. So we have a strong tradition.
Well, you have to keep up, though, with technology, with the equipment, and Fairmont Regional Medical Center, with folks like you working with the foundation and raising funds. They're able to do that.
It was truly a community effort. And I said, it is a regional touch, too, because I know, unfortunately, with a friend, I had the opportunity to be in the emergency room perhaps more times. And there were people from 5 different counties that were in the emergency room at that time. And this is because I said professionally, I worked in the Inspector General's office for lots of years. And so you're overhearing conversations, and here's someone from Tyler, here's someone from Harrison, here's someone from Taylor, here's Marion, and here's one from Braxton County. And you have people from all over the region are coming to our hospital.
Talk about the patient experience. I mean, you've witnessed it firsthand as a patient. As you said, you've been with people in the emergency room there at the facility. What's it like being treated by your friends and your neighbors? That has to add a level of comfort.
That means a lot. In my career, I've worked in Charleston, West Virginia. I've worked and lived there, lived in Richmond, Virginia, lived in Washington, D.C., all larger communities. Now, smaller community, Elkins, lived there too, but it means a lot that you know the people that are there. Your friends and neighbors are on the staff. They're volunteering. They're helping. They see the need, and they see people that they know being helped by the facility, by the hospital, and not by the facility. The facility gives you the environment for good health, for success. And I think that one of the things that you have with a smaller community hospital, and in no way I degrading the larger facilities, but you have the compassionate care there. It's that you know someone. You feel more comfortable. And I think as I age, you feel that comfort when it's somebody you know, or the fear of the unknown. Because if you're dealing with an illness or you're dealing with an accident, you don't need to be the only one there that you know. And I think that is a comfort to a lot of people.
Yeah, and the quickness and the sense of urgency. You were telling us that from your the initial reaction, it was January 10th, right, when you realized you had an issue?
January 10th, I realized I had an issue. January 11th, we're on it. I'm in with my doctor. Now, my late husband would say, if she calls, it's an emergency, because she isn't going to go in there. He would, panic at a cough. He's ready to go for something. But anyway, I thought, and just to give you a brief chronology, if I may, January 10th, discovery. January 11th, I'm in there. I'm in with one of the best surgeons around, I think Dave McClellan, and was in with his office right away. Then we go to biopsy. Then we go to partial mastectomy. Then we, the sentinel node. And then we do, this isn't going to go so well. The margins aren't so good, so here you go. And then to February 15th, mastectomy. And now, actually, after I leave this show, I'm going to do the first of the chemo. And I got tickled. Dr. Verma, I was looking in the notes, and of course, as patients, you become informed. It really helps, and the staff there are able to do that. And he put in his notes, she's not keen on chemotherapy. Well, now, seriously, who is? But it's the best insurance, and I can't stress enough early detection, which is why we raised the over $500,000 for the mammography. You need that. It gives you prevention, early detection, listening, getting in there, and the immediacy was good. We changed one test because in the region I had one test that I needed, and it was tough to schedule an echocardiogram. And so he said, well, then we'll do a MUGA test instead. We can do this. So you have so many options now that years ago patients didn't have. So prognosis is good, and it is what it is. And I know I said one time they asked, well, oh, gosh, this is awful. I said, well, you know what? You can't decide what cards you're dealt, but it's how you play the hand. And I think that the physicians, the staff, the nursing staff, the volunteers, all help you play that hand just a little better. And again, with a smaller facility, a community facility like Fairmont Regional Medical Center, they're there with you every step of the way with support, and it's people you know. It's that community touch. Or you soon know them.
Right.
And you see people that have, you say, oh, in a hospital, but you see people with smiles on their faces. How are you? Can I do anything for you? May I help you? Do you need to go somewhere? Do you showing you where it is. They're very willing to help. It's like the small neighborhoods that people talk about. And I would liken the hospital to the small neighborhood.
your role as vice president of the Regional Healthcare Foundation. You mentioned raising $500,000 for the digital mammography. Talk about the other things that you've been involved in and the other aspects that you've helped this hospital improve.
Well, some of the different things, and this is part of a team. My part is small. Everybody has a place to play. It's like we talk about, I know football's big here. I'm sure you heard. But anyway, everybody has an idea of what play they want to run. But when they leave that huddle, they've all got to be running the same play. So it's different things. And we've looked at priority lists and whatever. Well, now the Regional Healthcare Foundation is a little different. Before we were a not-for-profit hospital. And we did capital improvements, whether it was help with the elevator, whether it was with behavioral health, whether it was buying equipment, whatever. But now it's sort of because Electo is a for-profit, then the foundation had to separate, hence the different name and the Regional Healthcare Foundation. So we're more into community awareness, into information, into prevention, in assisting patients in different ways, whether it be transportation, whether it be, one of the things I'm really excited about is, there's such a concern with childhood obesity. So one of the things that we did last year working with Falcon Camp is that we did scholarships for students that might not be able to afford to go to camp, and worked with the school system. And so we had money to do that. Well, we applied and got a grant, so we're doubling up this year and are going to be able to send twice as many. So it's really great because they have activities that are both for educational type activities, but a lot of physical activity as well. And I think it's just a great idea. And
we've got a real feel for that during the weeks and months doing this show, the fact that the facility, Fairmont Regional Medical Center, is really striving to reach out to the community. You talk about awareness and prevention. I mean, that's where it all begins now in 2016.
Absolutely. And one of the things with, if I may talk a bit more about the faculty, listen to me, I'm talking about the physicians, the nurses,
staff.
the other staff. They are out in the community, whether it's belonging to a Rotary Club, whether it's being on a board of United Way, whether it's helping the schools with the different things. They're out there. They're reaching out to help, because not only are they spreading the word that we're here, they're spreading the word that we're here to help. And we are involved. We're invested in the community.
We are with Mary Jo Thomas, Vice President of the Regional Healthcare Foundation, and very involved in the community in Marion County and Fairmont and North Central West Virginia. We're going to take a quick break. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we return. Stay with us. Again, you can reach Fairmont Regional Medical Center, the general number, 304-367-7100. Give them a call if you have an issue, if you'd like to be involved in some of these community outreach programs. Give them a call. There's a place for you, and they can help you there at Fairmont Regional Medical Center. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this.
Now back to Wellness Wednesday, presented by Fairmont Regional Medical Center on WAJR and the AJR News Network.
Wellness Wednesday, we are with Mary Jo Thomas. She's Vice President of our Regional Healthcare Foundation, also a current patient at Fairmont Regional Medical Center, headed there immediately following our program here this morning to receive treatment for cancer. And Mary Jo, you've been incredibly active. I mean, the list of things you're involved with at the top, the General Federation of Women's Clubs. Explain what that is and how you're involved directly with healthcare issues.
Well, it's a 125-year-old organization. Actually, this year will end up being 126, but it's a non-denominational volunteer organization of women, and health concerns is one of their main venues. Domestic violence is prevention of domestic violence is their signature project, involving scholarships and whatever. One of the things, they partnered with a number of organizations on women's heart health and the Go Red campaign, and doing a lot of that. Very much involved with Relays for Life, the American Cancer Society. very involved. In fact, the Women's Club in Fairmont worked with the volunteers at then Fairmont General Hospital to start the Reach to Recovery program. And our local club in Fairmont at one time, we no longer have that, but had a civic league department that was dedicated to cancer awareness, prevention, that type of thing. But it's a group that offers lots. They're headquartered in Washington, D.C. They offer a buffet of all kinds of opportunities for service. But the great thing about the organization is the local club is autonomous, and you can pick and choose and do what you want to do. It's based on your community needs. So right now, for example, the Women's Club of Fairmont is not only helping with things with the hospital, but and one of those is a clothing closet, if I can get back to that in just a second. And another one of all things is helping to restore Woodlawn Cemetery, which is on the historic register. And so you'd think a women's club is helping restore a cemetery. But back to the clothing closet, the volunteers at Fairmont Regional Medical Center are absolutely fantastic, and they do so many different things. They've just started a clothing closet because when people come in, they sometimes don't have clothing. Now that has nothing to do with socioeconomic levels. Sometimes it could be somebody that didn't have clothing and needed some, or it could be someone that was in an accident and their clothing was cut off of them in order to facilitate taking care of them. So they've started a clothing closet. Also, with since I'm most interested at this point with cancer, and I told you earlier, my mother's involvement years ago was one reason I got involved. But we have a wig bank. We have a cancer closet where you can have everything from prosthesis to bathing suits to whatever the need is, and that is all manned by volunteers. We have a part-time volunteer coordinator who does a fantastic job and in coordinating the volunteers, but the work is done by volunteers. Fantastic organization, but it's something that you sort of take for granted. If you think, well, it's just there. And how does this happen? Well, it's a lot of people working behind the scenes, not just that one person out front. But when you come in a hospital environment, unless you're there to visit someone or delivering flowers or whatever, it's a stressful situation. And I think that one of the things that I think is a high point for Fairmont Regional Medical Center is that you're greeted, you're treated with respect and preserving your dignity at all times. And sometimes people aren't their most charming when they're under stress. And you have trained volunteers to help. You have trained staff, and from registration to the telephone operator to the people who are keeping the facility clean to the nursing staff to the doctors, everyone is committed to making sure that that patient is comfortable and that they get the best care possible and that their families are in the loop, if you will. And that means a lot.
Stressful for everybody and scary, quite frankly, a lot of times when you have to go to the hospital or someone you love is in the hospital. All right, we got about a minute left. Tell me about the golf tournament coming up in June.
Absolutely. Frank Police Golf Tournament. Frank Police was the first director of the foundation, and so we have a tournament each year. It's always the first Thursday in June. This year, June 2nd, and it's at Green Hills Country Club. And so for more information, you can call 304-367-7168, and we can sign your foursome up. This will be a great gift for someone to have them play in this golf tournament. Great prizes, good day, and Frank guarantees good weather.
All right, okay, I hear you. Hopefully that'll be the case. So that's June 2nd, the golf tournament at Green Hills. And it's a fundraiser sponsored by Fairmont Regional Medical Center. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, Mary Jo. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And, of course, we wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate that. And I said one reason I'm so glad we have Fairmont Regional Medical Center is in an emergency, minutes matter. And so you need that local hospital.
Well, you've got a wonderful attitude, and that's going to go a long way towards your recovery. I can tell. I can feel it. Mary Jo Thomas, we appreciate her time coming in, Vice President of the Regional Healthcare foundation and now a patient. So she's got firsthand experience of being a patient at Fairmont Regional Medical Center. Again, give them a call, Fairmont Regional Medical Center, 304-367-7100. They're about awareness, they're about prevention, and they'd like to help you. Thanks for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday.